Madison.
And I'm Lisa, and welcome to Neucrew.
Like entrepreneurship crew.
We enable ideas to meet reality
by making content about startup processes to make starting a company more accessible for everyone.
And you might notice that things look a little different. Addison and I are actually in the same frame of the video because I came to visit her in Houston.
If you want to see more behind the scenes stuff, like the fact that Lisa's here and what we're doing the weekend that she's visiting Houston, follow us on Instagram. We document some of that BTS stuff there.
All that aside, if being in an entrepreneur crew sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and subscribe and join our crew.
So today we're talking about how to register a business address.
You may be wondering, what is a business address? Do I need one? How do I get it? What are my options? And we cover all of that in this video, so don't worry.
Also, we're back with our mentor, Aaron Godoy, the co-founder of Yes and, a Houston, Texas-based consulting firm for nonprofits. And we're really excited that he's helping us with some more content.
Yeah, super excited. He shared a ton of really neat tips and insights with us in this video and in all our other videos with him too. So let's jump into them.
A business address can be any address that is not a P.O. box. So it has to be an actual real street address that the U.S. Postal Service can reach. If you want, you can use your home address, or you can use your mom's address. You can use, whatever address you want.
It could also be like a office space, but just not a P.O. box.
Correct, yes. As you can imagine, there are probably scenarios in which you do not want your address or your mom's address to appear on official documents or anything that's like in the public space that could be accessed by the public in some way. So that is typically why I would recommend that a business get a separate business address, even if they're going to be working like completely from home, remote. Lots of benefits to having that separate address rather than using your own home address or what have you.
How would you swing an address that maybe isn't yours?
Great question. So there are services out there that cater to exactly this need. They offer unique street addresses that you can use for your business address. Typically you pay some small amount, and what you're really doing is renting a mailbox.
Like if you're using your own address, you wouldn't do this because that's just the address you put in when you're filing for things. But if you
That's right.
don't want to use that when you're filing for things, then take this path and you can put this address in instead.
That's correct. Depending on where you are, you may have only one place that does this. You may have lots of options. If you're in, say, the Houston area, there's probably, maybe dozens of different places that offer this service. So you probably want to shop around, see who has the best rates. They'll offer different things, different perks in addition. It's like they'll forward you your mail, so you don't have to go pick it up yourself, or they'll scan it and then send you a digital copy. And some of these also offer addresses that when you Google them, Google Maps, it brings up like a nice office building. That's another benefit you can get. So if you're going to be working with clientele that is a little more discerning and they're going to Google you and that if they see some strip center that they're going to be like, this isn't legit, I'm not having it, then maybe you want to go with one of these probably more expensive services where you get your unique physical address and your mailbox, but it's actually, when you Google it, it's this giant office building that looks real nice from the outside. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go to Google, probably just type in your city or your metropolitan area and private mailbox rental. Okay, and here we see, various options. And what you're looking for is one that advertises that you get a unique street address. Typically that's what you want. So if you scroll up a little bit, I think there's one called In and Out Shipping. That's one we could look at as an example. So private mailbox rental service, Houston, Texas. And if you scroll down, you'll see it has some of the keywords we're looking for. It says that this is can be accessed by U.S. Postal Service, meant for businesses, especially those working from home. I believe somewhere in there it may say If you go under to why rent a private mailbox, the section's below. And one of the best things is the sentence even right below that is you get a real street address, because that's what we're looking for, is a unique street address that's not shared by other people, and that's not a P.O. box, and that isn't something that's going to confuse the U.S. Postal Service or any sort of state agency that needs to reach you and has to serve you an official letter. And it is a monthly cost, and there may, depending on what service you use, there may be like an annual contract. So you just have to weigh the pros and cons. If it's worth the money, right? Worth the money to not have to use your personal address and all that.
And that's a wrap. Personally, I loved doing this video with Aaron because I had no idea that you could go through a third party for your business address, and I'm really, really big on not blasting out my information to the public, so I loved recording this.
And it's so good to know that when you're filling out forms to set up your business, so much of that information becomes public, and it's even better to know that there are options and ways to protect your personal information, like setting up a business address.
Preach! And a huge thank you to Aaron for all of his help with this video, all his advice. We have a ton of other videos with him on our channel where he shares even more helpful advice, so go check him out.
Definitely. And if this video prompted any additional questions for you, please let us know in the comments. And while you're at it, go ahead and like, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, follow us on all of our socials.
As always, thank you for letting us be a part of your startup journey. Bye!
Bye.